What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show live from Oracle Park, where the Dodgers lose again. Showed a lot of fight. It was one of the better games of the season, one of the more competitive games of the season, but the Dodgers lose to the San Francisco Giants. They can't complete the comeback. It looked like this one was going to be a blowout. At one point, you're thinking it's an 8-2 game, that we're staring down the barrel of an even worse losing streaks. They did throw in some major fight in there. But at the end of the day, the result is the result. The Dodgers now, they are 56-39, 4 games up on the San Francisco Giants in the division. And why this continues to get scary for the Dodgers is these losses have continued to pile up. And yes, they put a ton of money in the bank. They put all that money in the bank during that stretch where you go 17-12 against above 500 teams. But you're looking at a Giants team that also has one of the weaker remaining schedules in Major League Baseball. There's a lot of confidence going up against this Dodgers team with the additions they've made, their rotation, their bullpen. And after this weekend, you could be looking at a lead in the division that is as low as 2 games after being 9 games just a couple of weeks ago. So this is a Dodger team that they need to get a win tomorrow with Shohei Ohtani on the bump for LA. Dave Roberts told us minutes ago the plan for Shohei is 2 innings, but if he's efficient, they would like him to go 3. So if he's efficient, he'll go 3. He'll continue to build up. Having Shohei on the mound tomorrow, I think, is exactly what this team needs. But let me know down below in the comment section, on a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you about this Dodgers losing streak? Because this now is the longest losing streak since 2017. And that year, they famously lost 11 games in a row. They lost 16 out of 17 games, but they still won the division and made it to the World Series. In 2018, they lost 10 games in a row. They won 10 games in a row. Just because you have an extended losing streak, it's not some indicator that your season is bad or that you're going to have a less of a chance to make the World Series. The Dodgers are still right there in that 20% range to win the World Series. It's only dropped by a little bit over on Fangraphs, but I still think that the way this team has played recently, that the bright spot tonight absolutely was the offense. And this is a Dodgers team that have been averaging a little over 2 runs per game. They've had an offense just fall off a cliff during this month and in this losing streak. And tonight, the offense, they were much better in this one. You had contributions up and down this lineup, and you didn't score 2 runs. And yeah, a lot of that offense came later. You would have liked it to come earlier. But all in all, you look at the numbers. I mean, they out-hit the Giants tonight. They go 11 hits to the Giants 9, and this one early, it did look like, hey, with the prowess of Shohei Ohtani showing that thump, and we'll talk about the splash home run, that maybe the Dodgers would get themselves an angry, easy win, but that wasn't the case. Willy Adames, he homered in the 2nd inning. He also had a 2-run triple, and in this one, that is kind of where the offense just wasn't able to pick it up early. Logan Webb, for the most part, he kept the Dodgers offense at bay early on until later in this one. But it was the performance of Dustin May where they kind of need a little more from him. And early on, I mean, he was good. He was striking out a lot of batters, and it looked like the swing and miss was there. But then all in all, he ends up giving up 7 runs, had 4 walks. That include 2 home runs. So, I mean, that just wasn't a good enough performance from Dustin May in this one. Willy Adames, he smoked that bomb. He hit a sinker off him. It was a solo shot with 1 out there in the bottom of the 2nd inning. That put the Giants on top early, and then the Dodgers, give him credit, they fought back. Hassan Kim, he led the 3rd inning off with a base hit, and the athleticism of Kim, he was a major bright spot. The Comet tonight, a 3-hit game, 2 stolen bases, some really good defense. He steals a base, goes to second, his 10th stolen base of the year, was able to get his 11th in 11 tries later in the game. And then Shohei Ohtani, he comes to the plate against Logan Webb, and he sees a cutter down the zone and get out the water wings because it was a splash bomb for Shohei.
situation where you got to find a way to get the guy in third. Infield comes in, and Otani will do plenty more than that. A majestic drive, 2-1 Dodgers, and a splash hit for Otani.
It was Shohei Ohtani's first splash bomb. It was actually the 8th Dodger to ever do that. It hadn't happened since Max Muncy did it back in 2021. Bonds has the most with 35, but I did get a chance to go out there, and we did talk to the guy that was able to get that ball, and he gets off his kayak and he goes for that one. He doesn't know if he is going to sell it or not, but the gentleman's name who jumped into the McCovey Cove, dove in there, 34-year-old mailman named Brad Renner. So he gets the ball, and most importantly, the Dodgers go up 2-1 in that situation. And you're feeling good, all right? I mean, it's a Shohei Ohtani home run. When Shohei hits a bomb, you feel better about this offense. But then the Giants, they get the lead back right away in the 4th inning. May just was not precise with the command, and that was really the big issue. He walks Rafael Devers, he walks Matt Chapman to start the inning. Then the walks really started to hurt him. Jung-Hoo Lee comes up, he triples, that scored 2 runs and made it a 3-2 game. And how about the throw from Michael Conforto? Had the Dodgers have won this game, we would have been talking about Michael Conforto having his best game as a Dodger, a signature performance, because with the Dodgers already giving up that lead at 3-2, Conforto, he threw out Jung-Hoo Lee at the plate. Just a fantastic throw. Great tag by Will Smith. They overturned it, or they called it out, and they reviewed it. Giants fans were hoping they were going to overturn it. They were hoping they were going to get the call, and then there was this big boo. Giants fans were not happy that that wasn't overturned, so you get some momentum there. And then Dominic Smith, he crushed a bomb there in the 5th off May to extend that lead, and he just could not find the command even after that. I mean, he gave up a single to Bailey. He gave up another 2 walks, and he did not have it. And Matt Chapman, he knocked in another run, and that forced Dustin May to exit the game. That ended his night. Dave Roberts comes out, and then Andy Bonda comes in, and then Willie Adames, he triples off Bonda. That scored another 2 for San Francisco, and at that point, it's an 8-2 deficit. But then the Dodgers, they come alive. Mike Conforto, he gets a 2-run home run off of Logan Webb. They pulled within 1 run in the 7th after Mookie Betts double in a Jung-Hoo Lee error that allowed him to get to 3rd, and Will Smith ends up getting an RBI single, and the Dodgers had life. It looked like it was going to be an enough is enough performance from the Dodgers, where they said, hey, we are going to end this losing streak. Top of the 9th inning, Dave Roberts keeps the lineup the same. No changes. You get the top of the order, and Mookie Betts, he comes up, and he's able to get a single. A couple batters later, Will Smith, who had 2 hits in this game, he grounded into a double play to end the game, and the losing skid continues for the Dodgers. So not a fun one if you are just looking at the loss, but the truth is that this could have been a lot worse. This could have been another game where the Dodgers offense was cold, only scored a couple of runs, didn't do very much, but Mookie Betts had a good night. He went 2 for 4. Even the line out there in the 1st inning was hard contact. He said after the game that he doesn't feel like he's doing very much, but I do think this is a very positive night for Mookie Betts. So let's hear from him. This is just minutes ago down there in the visiting clubhouse here at Oracle Park. We would have been talking about Michael Conforto having his best game as a Dodger, a signature performance. All right, sounds good. Yeah, so look, I mean, it was a good night for Mookie Betts. I mean, he's not going to feel good about it just because, of course, that's the kind he is. He is not going. He's not going to just accept anything if it's not a win. Now, I will say, just kind of looking back at the 9th inning there, Will Smith at the plate. You just get a 4-pitch walk, and you're trying to end this losing streak, and you swing at the first pitch, and you ground out into a double play, and that gives you your 7th straight loss. That's absolutely brutal. But then you remind yourself that Will Smith is hitting .407 with runners in scoring position. He's been one of the Dodgers' most clutch hitters this season. If you could pick a couple of different guys that you'd want at the plate in that situation, Will Smith certainly would be one of them. So So it's nitpicky. It was a tough play, better at bat for sure. And it's a guy that had multiple hits tonight, and it just wasn't his moment there at the end. It felt like the Dodgers were going to have a moment, but they just don't. And it's tough. I mean, you lose 7 straight games, but I will say, let's say tomorrow the Dodgers come out, it's early, and you're feeling better about the offense, and you see early runs from this team. I do think that this could be one of those games you look back and say, hey, that was the turning point, because the reason why this team has been losing games, the reason why this team is struggling and is mired in this losing streak, the reason why they're losing games right now is mostly due to the lack of offense and not due as much to the pitching. The pitching, yes, Yamamoto didn't pitch well on Monday against the Brewers, and they've had some rough spots at times throughout, but it's the fact that the offense is in single digits for most nights during this 6-game losing streak. So I do think the fact the offense picks it up a little bit, you feel better about that. Mookie Betts having a better night, you feel better about that. And then the other thing really is, what does this really mean for Dustin May? I think if we're looking big picture here, like you and I know that the Dodgers, if they get fully healthy, there's a really good chance they're going to still win this division. And when you make the playoffs and you're the Dodgers, with the talent that you have, being the reigning champions, you still have to feel confident about this group with all the star power that they do have. But I think you can look at tonight, and one of the true only, I think, long-term takeaways you can take from losing this game is 2 things. The performance of Dustin May, where, yeah, he had a really nice start against the White Sox. He was dominant in that one. We were talking about a perfect game at one point. But for the most part, there's just a lot of hard contact against him. The ERA, the FIP, the kind of the expected stuff. There's nothing that Dustin May has done throughout the course of this season that would say, yeah, this guy deserves to be in the rotation if everyone's healthy. Yeah, this guy, I think, could profile as a multi-inning reliever, a guy that you can use in spots where he can kind of empty the tank. And he does. That's the frustrating thing about Dustin May, is like he has those moments where like, oh no, like this is it. Like he's realizing the potential. I mean, he went 1, 2, 3 in the first, had the strikeout. There was moments there where when he was getting the punch outs, it looked good, but the hard contact was too much. The command just wasn't there. All in all, D. May, he goes 4 2/3 innings, gives up 7 runs on 7 hits, 7 runs on 5 hits, had 4 strikeouts and 4 walks. So same amount of walks as strikeouts. That's not going to get the job done. 85 pitches to get through 4 2/3 innings. That's not going to get the job done. And it just makes you wonder, what is the future of Dustin May on this team? Is he this year's version of James Paxton, where, to his credit, he's pitched more innings this year than he has at any point throughout his career? But if everyone gets healthy and you're kind of going down the list and you just kind of look at his stuff and how it's been playing compared to the other guys in this rotation when they're healthy, I think it'd be a tough call to have him in that rotation at the end of the day. And also, kind of, what does that mean for him in the bullpen? I mean, I do think that he brings something out of that. I'm not trying to use this start as a whole, because he just had a really nice start recently, but the mistakes for him are concerning. I mean, the home runs in a big spot, if that's the postseason, you're starting to get worried. But here is Dustin May from the Dodgers clubhouse just minutes ago.
Dustin, with how this game started, you were in the zone. When you look at just kind of when the walk started picking up, the long ball, what do you think was different for you? If it was kind of rhythm, timing, how the stuff was playing?
Just got a little bit out of sync and couldn't time things back up.
What kind of adjustments are you trying to make in that moment? I know, I have to imagine it gets kind of frustrating, also knowing the 6-game losing streak, things like that, now 7. How do you just have to find different ways to kind of manage yourself in those situations?
Just trying to find cues to be able to make the quickest adjustment possible. Talking with guys in between the innings and trying to just figure some things out, and I just couldn't get it done.
Did it feel like the stuff was playing how you wanted it to in the first couple innings there? And like, can you kind of feel when you start to lose it in the fourth? Or
yeah, I mean, during my warm-up throws in the fourth, it felt a little off. Trying to get my foot down a little earlier didn't really help That's been kind of a cue. But yeah, it just went bad in the fourth.
Starting pitcher, I mean, I have to imagine the whole team is feeling the losses, but do you feel more weight just trying to kind of put the team in a position to win?
I mean, I try to do that every time I go out. Whether we're on a losing streak or a winning streak, I'm going to give you my best foot forward, and it just wasn't very good tonight.
So there was Dustin May on the night, and we'll see what this means for his future. I do think early on in the second half of the season, he's going to have to make some big starts if he wants to remain in this rotation, if everyone gets healthy. He's had some moments this year, but tonight the Dodgers really needed a better performance from Dustin May, and the 4 walks and the home runs really hurt him. And I think you look at the bright spots tonight, the Mitch Lotta have full takes. There's Michael Conforto, who really had his best game as a Dodger, if we're being completely honest, with the outfield assist to get Jung-Hoo Lee, but also it was the 2-run home run that he had in the 6th inning that chased Logan Webb after Mookie Betts was hit by the pitch. So to have Michael Conforto have a big moment to build on, that was a positive. And also Hassan Kim. So the other big takeaway from tonight, if we're just thinking big picture, and I'll live in the micro with you. I will live in the frustration of a losing streak. It's not fun. Let's be honest. It flat out sucks. It's not fun to lose baseball games, especially to the San Francisco Giants. But the truth of the matter is we've seen this team go on losing streaks in the past. They bounce back only to go to the World Series, win the division. Like, they're going to be fine, big picture. But some of the things you can take away from this stretch, well, a big one is the performance of Hassan Kim. 3 hits, a double, 2 stolen bases, made a really great defensive play early in this one. And it's clear to me that pretty much the worst case scenario for Hassan Kim is to be a bench bat in the postseason. Best case scenario is that he's the Dodgers' everyday second baseman, or just getting more time. Dave has already said that he's going to get more opportunities at second base after Max Muncy was injured, and that's mainly going to come against right-handed pitching. But he's been good against lefties throughout his career in the KBO. He was good against lefties on the minor league level. He's had some success against lefties even this season. And Miguel Rojas told me, he said, hey, Hassan Kim could win a Gold Glove at second base with his defense. So tonight was a big night for Hassan Kim. He has something to build on. I do think he needs to be in the lineup as much as possible. And one thing that stood out to me was him being at the bottom of the order, giving Shohei Ohtani the opportunity to go to the plate with a runner on base, and he hits the home run. And that just puts a different level of pressure on the pitcher. That puts a different level of pressure on Logan Webb in that situation, and Shohei has not got enough of that. And this year, Ohtani's hitting around 200 with runners in scoring position. He has not hit like an MVP with runners on base, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he just has not gotten those run scoring opportunities that he would if he were either batting second or third, or if he had a better ball in the lineup early on in the season before they kind of started to turn things around. So I was really impressed with Hassan Kim. I thought he was fantastic. And if he just continues to get better and he proves that he can hang defensively, I think what we know now is we don't want to see him in center field, right? We don't want to see him in center field. And I also think shortstop in the postseason is a stretch as well for a rookie in his first season. But at second base, that is his safety spot. And he doesn't have to stress about the offense as far as being too focused on the defense, right? He's comfortable at second. And then when he goes to the plate, it's all about, hey, can I continue to have success hitting against big league pitching? He did that tonight, and he was really impressive, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do in the future. Let Hassan Kim play. Let him continue to get starts, and I think that he's a spark plug for this team. But here was Dave Roberts just a few minutes ago in the visiting clubhouse talking about the Dodgers' worst losing streak since early September of 2017.
Dave, obviously a loss is a loss. But when you look at just how your guys fought back in this one, did this one feel different compared to how this week has gone?
I like the fight. I like the fight tonight. I thought 1 through 9, there were good at-bats in there. scored some runs. Had a chance to win at the end, and unfortunately, came up a little short. But yeah, I think 1 through 9, I like the at-bat quality, and Webb is one of the really good pitchers in the National League, and for us to get him in the 6th inning, chase him, get to the pen, I thought that was good. And unfortunately, on the pitching side, we just couldn't prevent enough runs.
Dustin talked about how he felt like he just kind of got a little out of sync with the walks and the long ball. What were you seeing from him that just kind of really proved to be the difference with how he started this one and then in the middle of his outing?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the tell of tonight, where I thought early on the stuff was really good, and then you look and he started losing command, and the 4 walks, I think 3 of the guys scored, and you give a team that's playing well, that's opportunistic, free passes, they're going to come back to haunt you. And also, it kind of introduces more hitters and the better hitters, and you got to face more guys in a game, and that changes kind of the landscape of the game. And so I think that 4th or 5th inning where you walk 2 guys right there to start the inning, that kind of started it. And we almost got out of it with the double play off Chapman's bat, but for me, I just felt the command wasn't there enough to warrant another chance at Adames, and so unfortunately, and then we got count leverage at times and couldn't put hitters away, so that kind of bit us a little bit too.
How much has that been kind of a pattern of this season, just kind of looking dominant through stretches, but also just kind of having those bursts, like not really having his command?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Not to make any excuse for him, but that's part of kind of his path back and trying to fine-tune some things. And at times it's elite, it's commanded, and then then other times it kind of goes awry a little bit, and you give up free passes or make a mistake middle of the plate to give up slug. And so that's sort of what happened today. And he's trying his tail off, but today it just kind of fell off a little bit in the middle of the game.
And 2 for 4 for Mookie tonight, hard contact on the line out in the 1st inning. How encouraged were you by his at-bats, and how important do you think this series is to just take some momentum into the 2nd half?
That was good. That was really good. I thought Mookie showed a lot of fight tonight and was in there and spoiling some tough pitches, and even that Doval at-bat, what he did right there and squared a lot of balls up tonight. So that was really encouraging. A lot of positives from Mookie. And again, solid defense. And tonight, Haesung, I just the more you watch this young kid play, the more you like. And he's just a baseball player. He loves to compete, loves to fight, and so had a big night from him. So there were some good things.
And there was Dave Roberts after the loss. And one thing they did not show during that clip was Dave Roberts talking after. And we talked to Dave Roberts about Teoscar Hernandez's defense, because early in this one of the critical plays was Teo letting that ball get over his head. The Jung-Hoo Lee triple when it was a 2-1 game after the Dodgers got the splash home run from Shohei Ohtani. And if you look at that play, look at how Teoscar Hernandez is moving, and the way that he's moving in that stretch, it just does not look like the Teoscar Hernandez we saw last season. He takes an angle to it where he's just a step slow. And Dave was talking about, hey, we're going to bet on Teo's offense right now, even though it's clear he's not at 100% physically. And for me, that's pretty interesting that they're doing that, because for a team that always emphasizes having their best players healthy for the postseason, why have Teoscar Hernandez in right now if he's a defensive liability? And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's what he's been. He has not been a good right fielder this season. He grades out as one of the worst defensive right fielders in the sport. And it was good to see him produce at the plate offensively, but we already know he can do that. We already know that Teoscar Hernandez, when he's right, is going to rake. That's what he's done essentially his entire career, save for a little stretch with the Mariners. So yeah, I mean, it was an 8-2 game. Teo, he got the double there in the 6th inning that made it an 8-4 game, the 2-run double after the Betts hit by a pitch and the Smith double to center, but still, I think that if you're the Dodgers right now, my concern is that it gets worse, and I don't want him to be playing an entire season where he's hobbled or he's injured in any capacity. So I'm very curious to see how he's going to play moving forward and when it's going to get better and when he's going to turn that corner. Because Dave basically said after the game, they're going to keep rolling with Teoscar. There's 2 more games for the All-Star break. And clearly he wants to get his rhythm at the plate. He wants to get that feel heading into the home stretch of the season. And to his credit, he did get a 2-run double, but defensively, you look at his plan right, and yes, it's a cavernous, crazy outfield here in Oracle. Look at Oracle right there. A lot of Dodgers fans here today, but that's just kind of the big takeaway for me. But the Dodgers, they lose tonight. The positive is the bats got going. The negative is it does not matter in the box score. A loss is a loss in the standings, and they have now lost 7 games in a row for the first time since 2017. I wanted to come on here and tell you, hey, splash zone hit, 8th Dodger to hit it in the water, to hit it in McCovey Cove. I want to talk about Mookie Betts having a big night. I want to talk about Hassan Kim, what he's done, but that just was not the case. The Dodgers showed a lot of fight. The rivalry, I think, is clearly intact, and that is something that I actually want to talk about. Is tonight in this game, I hate to bring up the Padres. I know the Padres fans are going to say, oh, the Padres living rent-free in D-Mac's head. But you know what tonight was? It was really good, hard-fought baseball between 2 historic rivals, the Dodgers and the Giants. A rivalry that dates back to New York when they were both playing in New York. And you didn't see the drama. And yes, I'm here for the drama. I love drama. I've watched like 40 episodes of Love Island in 1 week, okay? I love me some drama, but it's only cool when it feels organic and authentic and it means something. Tonight there was no forced drama between the Giants and the Dodgers, right? When it's Padres-Dodgers, it's forced drama, and it's from the Padres end because they so badly want to be the Dodgers rivals, right? It's the little brother syndrome with them. They get emotional. We saw it happen. The incidents of Suarez and Otani and all that stuff that piled up. Tonight, I do want to say that I saw Dodgers fans and Giants fans. They were getting after it in the stands, but it was respectable. Like it truly was, right? It was respectable in the sense that, like, it's kind of a real recognized real. Like they are the Joker to our Batman in the sense that, hey, it's good hard-fought baseball. And I thought that was one of the most competitive, hard-fought games that I've seen all season. I also want to say something else. I'm going to get to your comments, guys, here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show, the #1 Dodgers post-game show on YouTube. When I went today to pick up my credential, look what they had on here. A Giants lanyard, Oracle Park, right? And look, you know what? Honestly, it's quality in the sense that it's a good quality lanyard, but I saw what they were trying to do. They're trying to get me to wear a Giants logoed lanyard over my dead body. Would I do that? I immediately switched to the MLB one that I brought. So nice try, Giants PR. But no, of course, I'm only kidding. The Giants PR, they've been great. Their press box is awesome. It's as close to the field as any of I've sat in. And yeah, it was a lot of energy in there. And yeah, now let's get to your comments, guys. I want all your takes. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show live from Oracle Park in San Francisco, where the Dodgers lose their 7th game in a row, an 8-7 loss to the evil ones up in San Francisco. I guess SF doesn't stand for a season finish right now. Hemi Turner says L lanyard. Brandon Marquez says ooh. AM Sanchez says nah. Gorf, shout out D-Mac. What up, Gorf? What is up, Brian? What's up, Carl? What's up, BC? BC says offense sucks and made them look like the 1927 Yankees. Ren says love me some tortas. Jason Diamond, the Dodgers need to start caring about defense, looking like the Yankees in the World Series. Interesting take on that one. Yeah, the right field spot was a no bueno here tonight in San Francisco. We've got lock and load, same crap for May. Pitches just good enough to get loose. Can't have 2 good starts in a row. May is a free agent next year. Can't wait till it's gone. Yeah, I can't see Dustin May being here long term, but you need healthy pitching. And to his credit, him and Yoshinobu Yamamoto have been the guys that have made their turns through the rotation this season. Delirium 9 says C3PO grades higher in right field than Teoscar Hernandez in his bag of sunflower seeds. Wow. Finish him. You guys are going crazy. Beef. Yeah, absolutely. We've got some more Parker Lee. At least they hit today a bit. Could have won. Yeah, honestly, it's a game they could have absolutely won. And that definitely is the biggest takeaway for this one. AL says, D-Mac, you need to have another round of glizzies and tortas for this dub. I might have to, honestly, seriously, I'll tell you this. If the losing streak, if they get swept this series, and the losing streak hits 9, I will do I'll eat a glizzy and I'll wash it down with a shoey to try to break this slump somehow after the All-Star break, because this losing is not fun. It's not fun to be in this funk, but I saw there were some tech difficulties with what Mookie said. So I want to get into that because I want to talk a little Mookie Betts, because I do think it was a positive in this one. Here's Mookie right after the game.
Mookie, when you look at how the last week has gone, just the fight you all showed tonight, Dave Roberts talked about just the feeling of a sense of urgency, wanting the wins. Were you feeling that in this game tonight, just how you all battled the back?
Yeah, it's kind of like we play like that every game. We just haven't gotten the bats going. Today we were able to string some hits together and put some innings together, but we just come up short.
What are you seeing from Logan Webb that at least put you guys in a situation to potentially pull off this comeback win?
I mean, I think he just left a few pitches out over the plate, especially in that one inning. I don't remember what inning it was, but we just was able to string some hits together, something we hadn't done in a while. Obviously, I know it sucks, but we got to try and take some positive out of it. At least we battled back.
Is it more encouraging that the offense kind of got something going, or does it just make it more frustrating when you guys do kind of come back and get close late in the game like that?
No, I think it's definitely more encouraging. We haven't, I can't speak for everyone, but I haven't done anything in this whole time. So, I don't want to speak on myself, but I don't want to speak on other people, but, just to kind of get us going and getting some hits there, it's just at least that's the positive that you can take out of it.
Where did the pitch get you, and how bad did you think it was?
It just got me just on the inner thigh, but just went numb for a second. But you get hit by a ball, it's probably gonna hurt.
Yeah, what's up, NS? Appreciate that. DMAC on site is S tier content. Yeah, hey guys, we're gonna do more of this, and we're gonna do it at Dodgers Stadium for the second half of the season. So expect a lot of live post-game shows. And it's really good because I go in the clubhouse, talk to some of the players, see what's going on, get you the feel. I like to, it's crazy. It's like to get you the feel of the clubhouse. I didn't see a clubhouse that was filled with guys with their heads down. Like Mookie didn't really want to talk to us that much, so we kind of let him go. But for the most part, these guys, they're professionals. They've been on winning clubs. They've been on teams that have suffered losing streaks. So it's not something they haven't experienced. And I do think it's important to point out that Mookie Betts did not get hit on the knee or did not get hit on the bone or somewhere on his hand. That definitely is something that you lose sight of in this one, is that, hey, they kind of dodged a bullet with their starting shortstop, their future Hall of Famer in this one. He got hit in the right leg, and it was right there on the inner thigh. It was concerning. It absolutely was a concerning, scary moment because he was writhing in pain. It felt like, hey, this is a moment that Mookie, hopefully he's not going on the IL before the All-Star break, and he was able to get up, and he was going to be fine after that. But it was definitely a scary moment here. Mookie's a tough dude. He doesn't go down easy, and that does not feel good in any way, shape, or form to get hit like that. It happened in the top of the sixth inning, very first pitch. It was it was actually the fourth pitch. It was a 92-mile-per-hour sinker by Logan Webb. And, hey, that kind of opened the door because Then you scored some runs after that, after the Teo double and the Conforto home run. But all right, guys, open up to you. Want to get all of your takes here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. How concerned are you about the losing streak? Is this just, hey, losing streak, things happen? Are you a little more concerned just because the Giants are now 4 games back? They're going to probably shut the lights off on me in just a second here, so we'll get some comments in. Brian Todd says, curse of Altuve. Do you mean that Altuve... do you mean that the Altuve game that he had, or do you mean that there was Dodgers fans at Dodger Stadium that were getting his autograph? Do you mean that curse? Interesting. I mean, hey, Altuve is still good. I mean, he really is. When I saw him at the stadium, I know that was Altuve or El Labubu, but still, he's been killing it, and he did a great job against the Dodgers for himself. But is that what you're talking about? Let me know down below. We got Robbie Ray tomorrow. He's lights out. Shohei, Robbie Ray, and then you'll have Emmet Sheehan coming in after Shohei Ohtani here at San Francisco. Eric Flores says, D-Mac, I'm not worried. I'm pissed. Here we go. Let's do it here. Here we go. All right, sweet. Giants win again tomorrow. Altuve is borderline Hall of Fame. He's getting there. He's getting close to 60 WAR, and that's kind of where you want to see it. I could see him in the Hall of Fame one of these days. Absolutely would. He's a good player. I actually respect his game. I'm only messing around. I mean, he's a hell of a hitter, man. No one's disputing that. Just having a little fun here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Beer Sama Alabubu, you caught that one. Why don't we use Hassan Kim as leadoff? Well, the simple answer to that question is they view him, from what I'm told, as a guy who can be a second-style leadoff hitter, right? Who hits at the bottom of the lineup and then gets on base, hopefully, and then is a duck on the pond with Shohei Ohtani at the plate. And the truth is, they like Shohei batting leadoff because you get 30 to 40 more plate appearances. And if you would throw Kim at leadoff, then you would take away plate appearances from Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Teoscar Hernandez, the big boppers at the top of the order, and they just don't want to do that. So I do want to see Kim in the lineup, but it's a little far-fetched to think that he can be the leadoff hitter for this team as it's currently constructed. We got Bilal K. acquiring O'Neal Cruz would undoubtedly move Teoscar to being the weakest link on the entire team. Now, that's a very weakest link to have. MLB Savant proves Edman and Muncy are ahead of Teo. Look, I mean, here's the thing about Teoscar. He has not been healthy for the majority of the season, but before the groin injury, he was one of the Dodgers' best hitters. He was up there with Will Smith and Freddie Freeman and Shohei Ohtani as the Dodgers that were raking to start the year. And since the groin injury, he has not looked the same. But let's not forget, Game 5 of the World Series, it was Teoscar Hernandez who gets the big hit in Game 5 to get the Dodgers the runs they needed to ultimately win that game. It was Teoscar Hernandez who hit the home run off of Yu Darvish late in Game 5 of the NLDS. Teoscar Hernandez has been one of the most clutch hitters in baseball, one of the best right-handed hitters versus left-handed pitching in baseball, and that's how they view him, as someone that is invaluable in the postseason, and that's why you're going to see this organization, who, mind you, just signed him to a new 3-year, $62 million deal in the offseason, is going to stick with Teoscar Hernandez. The issue I have, though, is he's in right instead of left. And in left, yes, you could make the case that he would get more action with more right-handed hitters pulling balls in his direction. But look at tonight. Tonight was a perfect example. If you're in right field, you want to avoid hitters getting triples, hitters getting extra base hits. And Andy Pages, that's really your strongest arm. So we'll see. A lot's going to be decided in the early part of the second half of the season. Conforto's fate. Will he hit enough to stay on this team? Hassan Kim, will he hit enough to be the second baseman? What does this mean for Edman? And when Muncy comes back, how quickly will he find his rhythm? Will we get Mookie Betts back to where he's been? Lots of questions for this team, but right now, it ain't fun. In enemy territory, taking L's, losing 7 in a row to losing your 7th game in a row to your rival in double play fashion. You hate to see it, but that's going to do it, guys, because I got to catch an Uber here back to my hotel. But I will be back tomorrow. Dodgers Dugout Live and the Dodgers Nation post-game show Saturday from Oracle Park in San Francisco. How we feeling about the on-site live shows, guys? No green screen action, no studio action, just me with the people. You know, it's pretty cool. A lot of people were asking me, like, who the hell are you? Because I was sitting in the press row, in the front row, and like even Giants fans, I had some Giants fans came up and say, "What's up, D-Mac? We're Giants fans and we rock with the show." So it's cool to see you guys show me love. If you guys are here tomorrow, I'll be walking around. We'll do some interviews and just holler at me, guys. But that is going to do it for the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. The Dodgers will try to snap their 7-game skid, their 7-game losing skid tomorrow with Shohei Ohtani on the mound going up against Robbie Ray. And we'll be here to cover it all on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. But see you guys tomorrow. Let's everyone do a shoey. Everyone eat a torta for me so we can get over this losing streak. Enjoy the rest of your night. See you guys tomorrow. And remember that nothing, absolutely nothing, brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring, rest assured, once again, it will be time for Dodger baseball.